Hi everyone, it's Jenny with Joey and Jenny's Little Yellow House, and we're on YouTube and Instagram at Joey143Jenny, and then we're also on Facebook at Joey and Jenny's Little Yellow House. Okay, I feel like it's been forever. I know I said that in the last video, but this is actually a craft video and not necessarily a share video, although it will share a little bit. But I don't know if you remember a little while back, I was going through my Christmas cards, that really scary box that I had that I just kept putting things in, and I just kept finding more and more Christmas cards. And I had mentioned that it would be a really great way for you to do like a December daily if you had old Christmas cards, putting them together, or making ephemera packets for your Christmas ephemera, things like that, like a little ephemera holder. And so that's what I wanted to do. So I've made two. They're different, and I'm going to talk to you about mistakes I made and what I might do differently and things like that. This one I made for the Junk Journal Studio for the mega pack right here, this winter collage and cluster mega pack from the Junk Journal Studio. That's what this one is for. And then this one I've made for Joey Cardmaker's Let's Be Jolly. Joey Cardmaker, Let's Be Jolly. This one, neither of them are completed yet, but I wanted to show you what I've done so far. So I'm also using my cutoffs from my Kathy Holden Christmas fair. It's perfect for stuff like this, and I just love it. So I've got those over there. I haven't ironed anything, as you can see as we go through. Okay, so this was the first one I made. I guess you could call it the prototype. It's a big card. I looked for big cards. I'm going to have these little glue goobers throughout, I'm sure. I looked for big cards to be the outside and then cards that would fit inside. Okay, so here's part of what my first, well, not my first, but as we go, I'll show you what my mistakes were. So a while back, I found a ink pad that said black, but it was actually blue. And so I thought, oh, I think I'll outline these in blue because normally I do them in black so I can see them better. So I just take the pad and I run it across. Well, this was a blue ink and it was not alcohol based. And I mean, that ink was everywhere. So I tried to tidy it up with some alcohol and an alcohol pad, and then you can see here it just made a bigger mess. So I abandoned that ink pad and went back to my black. So good news is the Junk Journal Studio winter mega pack, the things that I'm going to put in and I can decorate with, is going to hide all of those yucks. Excuse me, which is so great about junk journaling. All right, so what I did on this one is I cut each card in half, and then I took the scraps like this, excuse me, and I laid it to hinge the two back together because I thought, well, it's, it's thick card stock, so it might be better to do that. That would have been a really good idea if I did not machine stitch this, because when I machine stitched it down the center, I used a zigzag and it caught the cards, which caused them to then have a weird bend to them. So I think if I had just used a straight stitch and gone straight down the little gully here, the little alley that I made with the fabric, by leaving a little space in between the cards when I put the fabric together, I think that would have been better. But ideally, now that I've done it, I thought this would be the best way. Ideally, I think I would hand bind these the way I normally do a journal. But I love the way the fabric looks. I haven't finished it. I did put a pocket in so that I could put some things in there, or an envelope. And then I saved, a pretty card for the middle. This is where I hinged in Some of the cards that people have given me or that I have found at thrift stores are just the fronts of the cards. And so that's fun to just do that with. Again, this would make a really fun December daily, you know, if you put some cards together and then you journaled on them. So that's that one. Then I put some more Kathy's fabric over to cover that spine, and I just am using some baker's twine to tie it together. But to make it a little bit more stable, I used a cardstock fussy cut from the actual kit. Okay, so that's this one for the Junk Journal Studio. And then Joey Cardmaker's Let's Be Jolly, I used these cards. This is one I need to put in. It's going to go right here. So let's do that. And somebody had written on this side, it says, see you Christmas. So I don't know if it meant to say see you at Christmas or what, but it just says see you Christmas. So I don't know if they're wishing Christmas farewell or what was going on there. Okay. I had glue everywhere. I don't know what happened. Maybe it's because I haven't actually been in the craft room for a few days and I don't know how to use a glue bottle. But I had glue everywhere. It's all over my workstation too. I need to clean that up. So that's going to be cute. I do like that you can roll this Fabri-Tac off. Okay. So these are just some more cards that I put in. Okay, so on this one, what I did was I thought, okay, I'm not going to use the fabric. I'm just going to sew down the center. I'm just going to sew down the center. Well, again, I think because I used a zigzag, it caught the cards weird. So I needed to go back and kind of refold and crease, and I used my bone folder to help with that. So what ended up happening is this isn't even, which is fine. I mean, it is a junk journal after all, but I can always add something pretty there, especially from the kit. So, okay, so then what I wanted to do is go ahead and put another tie on this. So I'm just going to use baker's twine. Did a knot here. My hands are a little stiff. I've been sewing some patches that my granddaughter asked me to sew on a sweatshirt, and they're iron-on patches, so they're very, very thick, and you have to, man, it is tough to get that needle and thread through. I'm using invisible thread, so at least it's a little bit thinner. Okay, so I'm just going to put this up. I'm going to try to estimate halfway. Get that little guy in there too. I may have to come back and add more glue. We'll see. Okay. Pretty close. Well, I hope everybody's having a really good day. I have not started Christmas journals yet. Can you believe it? But I will be starting soon. I'm getting everything organized. And also, just finished my last workshop of 2023. And so I'm still putting some things from that away and organizing and you know, being a good friend for next year, by putting things away nicely and making sure it makes sense the way I'm organizing things. It's a little different with the Christmas workshop, because with the other workshops you can use some of the same things. But with the Christmas workshop, I did a lot of specific Christmas ephemera, some vintage Christmas things. So those things I'll need to make sure get put back into my Christmas tubs. As you saw how I'm trying to stay organized, I did reorganize them and make tubs specific for certain things. Okay, that's good. And then if to help reinforce where this tie is, when we go through Joey's, I can find something to put right there, part of his ephemera. All right, so I'm going to set that aside and let that dry. I think that's going to turn out really cute. Okay, I've got this shadow. I have some long papers there that are creating a shadow. Okay. All right, now let's pack this. Let's start on it at least. I made this longer pocket because, I have these longer things and I want to keep them nice until I'm ready to use them. So I made that longer pocket to put those in there. Eventually, I'm sure I'll probably put pockets on this side, but for now, all I've done is put them on this side. So what I'd like to do is just take advantage of the sizes that I have of the pockets. And this just makes it a little bit easier to view the ephemera, while you're working on a journal. I have more ephemera to put in here. I just don't have it all cut yet. Okay. One thing I have learned is to not put things that are too small in the pockets. Like I wouldn't put something I couldn't actually reach, because man, what a mess that is. And I don't have those long tweezers. I need to get some of those. So see how pretty that looks. Maybe I should put you in just a little bit. Look how pretty. And how clean that's making keeping those nice and tidy. So you can see I definitely need to put more pockets, because if you put too many in one pocket, then it buckles so much that your pieces will start to fall out. So I don't want that. I love these cards that were in the kit. Oh my gosh, I cannot wait to start making journal. See if I can put a few more in here. Okay. I left that blank because it has a good sugar cookie recipe. Look how simple this sugar cookie recipe is. It says 1 stick salted butter plus 2 tablespoons, 1/3 cup of sugar, 1 cup of flour. Sprinkles are optional. Heat to 325 Fahrenheit. Use mixer to cream sugar and butter. Whip the two until butter is almost white. And the mixture is light and fluffy, almost like a slightly gritty frosting. Stir in the flour. Form the cookies into 1-inch balls, placing them 2 inches apart on your baking sheet. Flatten them into a disc shape if you're topping with sprinkles before baking. Bake at 15 to 17 minutes or until the edges of the cookies are lightly golden. Decorate as desired. I mean, how simple are those? There's no baking soda, baking powder, nothing like that. I think it's mainly going to be like a butter cookie. Sounds delish. We'll have to get to the other side of the card to see where that came from. Who that recipe is. Where is that? It is a DAV. Somebody got those, you know, from that organization, probably donated money or something. Okay, so I don't have anything just yet that I'm going to put in here. Okay, so then what I do is I just take my, well, these long ones here, these are also from the kit. I'm going to put those in the back. I made another pocket back here, so try to cover it. I'll put something in there, cover that up. Ugh. What's going on here? There we go. Anyways, I have different sizes of, oh gosh, what is this called? You know what this is. It is vellum. That's what that is. It's vellum. Those are just scraps. Okay, so then what I'm going to do is I'm going to skip that one. That one's done. Okay. Normally when I do a ephemera thing, you know, ephemera holder, I will use 8.5 by 11 sheets and just cut them, you know, down to 4 1/4 or something like that. But with these cards, they're all different. So I'm trying to cut accordingly. I usually cut about 2 inches, but these are so small that I think I'm going to go on a couple of them, 1 3/4. And then we'll leave that one like that and see if it fits somewhere else. Okay, and then I do think it's helpful for me to go ahead and put a little thumb hole in it. And then I like to take the stamp pad and I just outline it. I don't know, sometimes it just makes it a little easier at a quick glance to see where you're putting things in. Especially, I think this works especially if where you're putting it is like in my other ephemera packs or ephemera holders. The background is oftentimes like scrap paper that has designs on it that maybe I wouldn't normally use in a journal, and so I've reused them to put them in an ephemera book. So then highlight or darkening the edges kind of helps. Does that fit? Yeah. Okay, and then I just do the 3 corners. Nice little line here, and on the bottom. Oops. So I'll tell you what, the workshops went so well. Just had so much fun. One thing that I love about doing these workshops, see how I messed that up a little bit, but oops, I've got a little bit of black there, but it'll be fine. One thing I love about the workshops is how unique each and every journal turns out. You know, I just love how everyone's personality really does shine through the journal, and how they go about making it and where they put things. And then, you know, because oftentimes everything, for the most part, the guts of the journal and the journal cover are typically the same. And then it's what they do to, you know, prepare it and decorate it that makes the big difference. Will that fit there? almost. Let me just trim a little teeny bit off here. Maybe a little bit more. Okay. So it was so fun, and I got to get out a lot of my Christmas ephemera and, you know, share that through the kits. And I may have told you that I set out things for what I call a shopping trip, so that the people that attend, the participants, can pick out, you know, their own pages and their own ephemera and you know, things like that, ribbons and things like that. And so that's super fun to see what everybody comes up with. So let's see here. I think I'm going to put one there. Better this way. Anyways, yeah, so I'll be posting some pictures. Maybe I'll post those today. Get that underway. I'm a little bit behind on things. Got to get back in the groove, you know it? So thank you for your patience. Thank you for those that have subscribed in the last few days. I appreciate that. Well, for all of our subscribers, we're so grateful for you. Don't get me choked up. Don't get me going. Okay. Yeah, so I'm super excited that, whoops, something just avalanched under me, on the shelves underneath. I'm super excited to start my journals, with the exception of Joey Cardmaker's. I'm going to use his kit. With the exception of that, basically what I'm going to do is just make a journal like I normally do, which is to just use what is around me and things like that. And then in that journal, I'll definitely be using some of the Winter Mega kit from the Junk Journal Studio. Oopsie. Oh, good grief. I'm not opposed to it being crooked. It's just that I'm afraid that an ephemera will fall right out of it. There we go. Okay, that's the middle. I'm going to leave it for now. I think that turned out cute. I hinged that in on the side of the envelope. I think it turned out cute. I mean, how could it not? It's a cute card. What I did with this one, this journal, is I tried to find in my little stash, I tried to find cards that kind of had some blue to it, because the kit, the Junk Journal Studio kit with the labels and all, primarily were blue and green, and I thought, ooh, that'll be so cute. And then with Joey's, I did mostly like reds and things like that, because his is a very traditional, well, when I say traditional, I mean like traditional red and Santa and stuff like that. So I did that. I did the reds and the Santa cards. Now see, I've got blacks from something. Well, I know it's from that, but I thought that would be dry by now. Ugh. Okay, let's put some more in. And I might even decorate a little bit, because I'm tired of seeing all the black and blue splatters. Okay. So I'm not certain that I have them divided completely to put it all away. I love that label. Let's just put that there for now. Some littles here. And then I have some more littles that I've put in a little container, so that while I work with them, I can see them. They're so little. looking for, I thought I put a smaller. These are fun little labels, aren't they? That would look good right there. Then we'll cover up my mess. So Thanksgiving is around the corner. I hope everyone has a really great Thanksgiving. Preparing for next week. So Joe's dad has been under the weather. If y'all could say a prayer for him, boy, we'd sure appreciate that. And but we are expecting them to come to town. His mom and dad. That'll be super fun. Thanksgiving is such a wonderful holiday to just, you know, sit around and just chat and catch up and relax. Hopefully that's the way it is for you. Just relax and eat and, you know, partake of some good food. So I'm just putting these in. I'm you know, as I add more and more pockets, that one's kind of big. Maybe we'll move that over here. As I add more and more pockets, it'll get more and more organized. Oh, did I not do any? Okay, let's go back this way. So some bigger ones can go in there. These are fun labels. Another little one. Let's see if those are too tall. Oh, that's fine. Okay. Keep trying to see where have I put things. I'll eventually get it to where I'll realize, oh yeah, you put this here, you put this there. It'll all start to make sense to me as I'm going through and using it. Okay, so these are the beautiful, like, natural colors, earthy colors, neutrals. And then there's a bunch in the greens and the blues. So let's see. So I could start, you know, these little ones I think I'm going to put in a tiny little thing. But trying to see how I could consolidate just a smidgy here. And then start a different color, you know what I mean? Now probably what I'll do is once I get all of the little pockets in, I'll separate it from labels that are like this, that are like different shapes and things. I may separate those out from the ones that are just rectangular or square. I need to find something to put there. Problem is that I love them all and I don't want to reprint just yet. So I know if I use one, I'm gonna have to print again to use it. Okay, I have not resized these. I used all my pockets up here. Yeah. Okay. I guess I could move these over so many wonderful, look at how great these are. I love that. So these are a little bit smaller. They could go up here. These could go here. And I think I'm going to put that down. Glue, glue, glue. Well, this is it. I mean, this is what I'm doing today, and I hope to get Joey's done as well. I hope to get this one done. And then I have some more. You saw when I went through my, yikes. When I went through my Christmas boxes, I have more digitals, and so I could make another one. And when I make another one, I'm going to make it by just hand sewing it, the signature, because these work fine, but I think that it's going to be better to just do it by hand. That's my thought. I just wasn't as I wasn't able to align it like I wanted to. That's a good size. These I did in cardstock so that I could use them right away as little journal cards. I think they're going to be so awesome to tuck. And then I did some on white, and I did some on a like a creamy color. Oh yeah, these are going to be so cool. I'm sorry about them. That's pretty. Some of these little ones will set aside. So this is it. So I hope you've enjoyed looking through these all with me and getting some of the ephemera put together. You know, get it in here. Ooh, those are going to be cute. Small over here. See, this is so cool how she's done them in 2 different colors so that you can, you know, use it for your different journals depending on the color scheme that you have. I think I'll put that in another one. All right, everybody. Well, thank you so much for hanging out with me as I work to get my little ephemera holders put together. Let's look at Joey's real quick and see how it's doing. This one's already getting chubby. I love it. Oh, and I did round the corners. I didn't do that on Joey's, and I don't know if I will because of the border here. Oh, let's see real quick before we go. Let's see what I can find. Pardon the reach. In Joey's kit to do just like a little reinforcement there. I mean, that would work, but let's see if we can find something just a little bit bigger. Ooh, I love those. Let's see. I love these. But not there. It's hard to compete against that Christmas tree. Those are all too large. Ah! Okay, where's that? I think that's going to be it right there. Just going to go around here. And then I will cut out Joey Cardmaker's kit name, and I'll put it on the inside just so that like next year I won't forget. Well, even this year I forget. Won't forget the exact name when I use these. Yeah, I like it. It's cute. I don't know if you can hear my stomach growling. You can. Excuse me. Okay. Yeah, I like that. So this is going to be really fun to put, you know, Joey's things in. Oopsie. That's that one we just did. Let's see if I can get. So when we put his ephemera in, of course we'll use a lot of this ephemera, you know, making the journal, but just while we're waiting to use the journal, make the journal, see how cute all of that's going to be in there. Cute, cute. It's going to go really nice with, ooh, I might even, nope, I'm not going to use his to do that because I want him to be able to see. And then I can always add, you know, next year's kit, I can always add cutouts in there too. It's just going to also be very helpful for me when I cut out more ephemera to be able to store it. Okay. Yeah. That is awesome. Let me even these up down here. Joey Cardmaker. Junk Journal Studio. I love them. I love them so much. It's going to be so much easier. And another thing that's going to be easy is then when because oftentimes while I'm working on a journal, if I'm going to go somewhere and I know I'm going to be sitting for a while, I might take it and work, you know, on the journal. And how nice is this going to be just to tuck it in and take along. So cool. Well, thanks everybody for hanging out with me and checking these out. I hope you have some old cards, or maybe you'll find some at a thrift store and you can do these yourself. Again, don't forget, you can do it and make your, you know, make a journal out of it and then just put pockets and, you know, little ephemera in it. Make your daily, your December daily and journal every day in December. Yeah, it's a really great way to use old cards. Okay, everyone, don't forget, we pray blessings over you and we want you to know you're so loved. And we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.